Man, you guys are easy to create controversy even before my live stream started. Sorry. Jeez, Louise. Anyway, it's always at 1 o'clock, so usually my team creates a thumbnail, and that weird thumbnail of me just staring weirdly at you is just my filler thumbnail, so my team can put in a real one. So that's all you were seeing. This a thumbnail hadn't been put in there yet. But anyway, we're here, and I'm so glad to. I was sitting there looking at the comments like for the last 5 minutes. Really interesting little discussion there while we waited with a weird, very serious look. The reason for that is I'm here by myself because my buddy Brian, his daughter, she's gonna be okay, but she hurt her arm, so he's at the urgent care. So I'm doing this by myself, and when you do it, it says like create your thumbnail for your live stream, and it goes like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I hit it, and then I came here and tried to sit in the spot real still, and then come back and make sure that I had the right frame, the right angle. So that's all that serious look was. But anyway, hope you guys are doing well. This theme for this live stream, thought I'd do a uh, a question and answer kind of YouTube live stream. Next Saturday, I'm bringing back my friend Carrie, that R&B, the awesome Carrie Too Smooth, awesome R&B guitar player. For whatever reason, when he did a live stream with me a few weeks back, something glitched on YouTube and it didn't archive. So I felt bad. He's going to come back. We're going to go over some really cool R&B techniques, and then hopefully the video doesn't disappear like last time. So yeah, so we got some question and answers. I've got my computer monitor down here so I can see them. There's also that thing called Super Chat, which will make your comment stick. So if you have a really important question, you can do that and it'll stay up there. But no pressure. My favorite band of the 2000s. That's one question I just saw pop in. There's a lot of questions going there. I'm going to do a little jam too. But let me think about that. My favorite band of the 2000s. That means, I don't know if you mean 2000 to 2010. Because if it's the 2000s, we're talking about 20 years of music. But I don't know. What do you got? What bands, what contemporary bands do you guys like? If you're talking about the early 2000s, uh, I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of like the best bands that I can think of. What, like, are bands like Coldplay? Is that what you mean? But anyway, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think that person means, and what are some of your favorite bands from that era? Yeah, Black Keys. That's a great answer. That's a really good one. Uh, okay. Emil. Okay, a lot of questions going by really fast. Oh, there's a super chat. Caden Barnes says he wants to take the chance to say thanks for everything. So thankful and everything that I've done. And they've been playing for 2 months. Uh, Caden Barnes, thank you so much for that. It gets more and more fun, I promise. But those first few months, I think, are the most challenging, right? Because you're still kind of practicing, hopefully, changing those chords, right? But once you get those 5 or 6 chords, they're in every single song. So you have to remember that once you get through that little beginner hump, I call it, then it's smooth sailing from there because you can play tons of easy, fun songs, but then you can start adding just little new things. I always improve the best when I just added little things at a time, tiny little concepts, the fact that I could take a D chord and slide that up, and now it's an E major chord, or a half step up, it becomes F major, G major, A major, that kind of concept. Those are just little things you can add once you have that beginner hump. So what I would say the beginner hump would be is like being able to smoothly transition. And this will be good if you want to teach a friend of yours or a sibling, or you want to teach someone guitar. getting through those open cowboy chords, E minor, A major, C major, G major, D major, right? A minor, get the F in there eventually, get a D minor in there, and start practicing just the songs that use up all those easy chords. I'm sure I forgot a few. But so that'd be one thing. Then another thing is if you can smoothly play through a 12-bar blues, that'd be the next little thing. Then from there, you can go in two different directions. One would be just start introducing yourself to bar chords, like a B minor chord's a great. Right, so you got the bar chord vibe, and then the basic minor pentatonic scale, and technique for that is good for like a song to learn maybe before you start to get into the pentatonic scale. A good one is "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd. Like little songs that just have a little bit of the licks in there. So let me check out your comments some more. But anyway, thank you, Caden, once again, for your super chat and answer your question. Let's see. I'm going to freeze it here. Favorite tip for songwriting? I do have a favorite tip for songwriting. And maybe I'll play one of the songs that I have in my Marty music looper. I have my own looper at martymusic.com. I'm going to play a tune, and I'm going to talk about a cool songwriting technique that I actually was taught in college. And actually also, this is a good teaser. In the near future, a country artist named Lindsay L. that I did a guitar tours with over a year ago. She's a Nashville singer-songwriter, guitar player. She's actually going to do a little guest series on songwriting on my channel. So look for that, Lindsay L. It's going to be awesome. She actually can talk the talk, walk the walk, because she had her first #1 on the country charts pretty recently. So she's going to talk about that, and I'm excited. So another super chat here, Abe Hildebrandt. He's a great fan, and he's learned so much. Abe Hildebrandt. Well, thank you so much. That's so kind. Logan Higgins. Do I know how to play Shelf in the Room by Days of the New? Days of the New, that's an underrated band. I'm going to check that one out, Logan. And thank you so much for your super chat, dude. It was really, really kind of you. Lee Scott has a super chat, and he says, any way you could go over the B sus4, because he's working on Free Falling. Okay, so let's remember this, guys. Actually, I'm going to put this right here. Hopefully it doesn't affect the sound. And hopefully you guys can hear me well today, because I'm using a new sound system. So Lee Scott, let's see, the B sus4, and Days of the New by Logan. So thank you so much for that. Okay, the B sus4, he's talking about, I said I was going to put it over here. The B sus4, he's talking about this chord. Right, so. I do have a tip. It's very similar to the bar chord tip. So if you see my hand here, if your elbow hits the tip of your rib cage, or like me, the meat in between the rib cage. Dad bod joke there. So if you see my hand, if my elbow comes in like this, it makes my fingers, see, if a lot of natural feeling on your hand, like when you naturally are starting to play, your hand's kind of like in this position a little bit. If you move that elbow in, look at my pinky, it becomes parallel with the frets, right? My fingers are lined up with the frets. This, you're going to really have to reach. So if you're already like this when you play the chord, think of like almost like your pinky trying to get up here. It'll get your hand into that right position. And so that B sus4, it's easier than a B major chord, I will say that. So it's like this. You take the index finger on the 2nd fret, and then 4th fret, just like a power chord, and then pinky on the 4th fret of the G, and then you let the open B and high E ring out. So you want to make sure the more that elbow's like that, the more it'll ring out. Like that. Another tip, fingertip, is to form the shape and then take your hand off trying to keep the shape. And then take it and put it back on and then make your adjustments that you need to make. You know, it's not going to be perfect. And if you do that, it'll speed up your muscle memory. So I hope that helps, Logan. And thank you so much for that super chat. Mickey B says, best pedals to get 80s metal sound from a clean tube amp. I'd love to hear people's comments on that, because I'm not like the foremost expert on heavy metal, but I do find that, and I'm still going to get to your songwriting question, but Lee Scott, keep working on that B sus4. Logan, Days of the New, I'm working, and then my friend with the songwriting. But Mickey B, shout out to Mickey B. He's asking for metal sounds with a pedal. I do find that a lot of the metal guys are going straight into a metal sounding amp, like a Friedman amp or a Marshall, and using the gain channel on the amp. I think a lot of the real metal guys do that. But even a pedal that gets made fun of a lot, called the Metal Zone by Boss, like you can dial in a decent metal tone with it. It's just people make it so extreme that it gets made fun of. So I really appreciate the comment and super chat, Mickey B. But I'd also appreciate other people getting their comments in to let him know what they think. They've got good answers. Oh, did I see a Josh Norco there? Nope, Mickey B. Let's see. I don't want to miss anything. Oh, hey, thanks so much, Abe Hildebrandt. Play Fortunate Son. CCR, that's a great one. And thank you, Abe. Noah's Noah. What is the best way to learn electric online? You know the trouble with YouTube videos? They don't work. They stink. All the YouTube teachers are terrible. Don't you just hate how bad they are? Yet we're going to run an ad on YouTube for it? That was a joke, but I would say, dude, I have actually at least your first 4 or 5 electric guitar lessons right on YouTube for free. So I recommend you checking those out. All right. I'm going to do a little jam, then I'm going to talk about songwriting. And then I'll get back to your comments. We're doing live Q&A right now. Oh, well, Darren Hull says, Marty, what guitar is that? This is my Colin Daly American Strat. Is it worth the money? I think so, but I think any like really high-end guitar, American Strat, Gibson ES 335, you can always get good deals looking on reverb.com for used guitars. You're going to get a guitar that plays exactly like a new one, but for less money. So I'm a big proponent. Obviously, if you don't get to go to the factory and make your own like I did, sorry. But if you can't do that, which I highly recommend if you can, but no, you can always get good deals finding used guitars. Sweet child of mine. Well, thanks for all the comments. Okay, I'm going to do a jam. People always want to hear some playing. They don't want me to sit and talk for too long, so let's see what I got here. Also got the Schwarzenegger Overdrive and the Marty Music Looper here to make this little jam. some super chats. I don't want to leave anyone out. Caden Barnes, thank you so much. He says he loves the videos, of course, but his question is, should I do some songs like Razor's Edge by AC/DC and maybe a couple of Metallica songs? No one else does videos like me. Thank you so much, Caden. Really appreciate that. I actually am in the process. I am actually in the process of working on a song tutorial that's from the Razor's Edge album. I won't say which one right now, but it has to. Here's a hint. Let's see if you can name an AC/DC song from this hint. It's obscure. It's an obscure reference, but okay. So in other words, I'm doing a lesson soon from Razor's Edge, but here's a riff that will hint what AC/DC Razor's Edge song I'm doing. All right, that was the hint. So we'll see what you got. Noah says, can I name my 3 favorite riffs of all time? Man, I don't think I can do that, but let's see. I think one of them is... So that's got to be one. That was Hendrix. Say you got to go with a... Oh, sorry. I wasn't quite prepared to go through my favorite riffs today. So that's 2. Is there one that I could play that, well, shit, I'm just gonna, I cussed, everybody, watch out. But I definitely have to play this. Which brings me to a songwriting tip that I promised I would do. Buddy, he says he's decent at guitar, but he went to jam with a guy yesterday and his lead and couldn't figure out what to play. Any tips? You gotta know enough to see where to plug in your pentatonic scale. So you gotta learn a little bit about first. Be really good for you to know the notes on the E and A string really well. And then you can either use your ear or look at the person jamming to just try and find where to plug in that pentatonic and then explore solo ideas from there. But here's the thing, like songwriting tips is studying your favorite songs and deconstructing them and analyzing what it is about that song that moves you or that you like. And then now you have some knowledge on how to put back together something on your own. So like that, I Dig a Pony. You know, something like that, you're like, you could see that the riff comes from those 3 chords. Those 3 chords sound really good. So you could keep experimenting, and you're not ripping it off per se, but you're using it, you're using the knowledge of your deconstruction to now do something in the same vein, right? I mean, the Beatles heard heavy rock and then wrote Helter Skelter, or they heard Roy Orbison do a song and they wanted to do something like that. And that goes on forever and ever. So let's say I did, So it was G, D, and A, right? Maybe I start with A. Now that was different. Okay, I'm taking those 3 chords and I'm going. You know, just things like that. Now, if you took Blackbird, right? You have this little thing here. That little piece. You know, you can hear that. I'm not playing it exactly alike, but you get a little bit of that Chili Peppers thing going, right? And I did see someone request, like Tom Petty, Last Dance with Mary Jane. Chili Peppers have right? So you want to take your favorite stuff and analyze it, deconstruct it, and use it as inspiration. Now, in college, just as an experiment, we would take songs that we were assigned or that we liked, and we would analyze the song, deconstruct it, and then we would change things around. So if I took a song like, well, Last Dance with Mary Jane has 2 parts, right? It's got a verse. There it is. I'm still thinking Chili Peppers are so similar, but... So that's the verse of the song. The chorus is E minor to A7. Right? So in the exercise would be to write your own song with your own original melody, but like take the chorus of Last Dance with Mary Jane and have that be your verse, and then the chords of the verse of Last Dance with Mary Jane be your chorus. You see what I'm saying? Because chords that you like the way they sound together, I mean, theoretically, that means they go together. So you can get creative and take that same idea. So what would something like that sound like? E minor to A7 would be my verse. So, and I'll do it with like bar chords to mix it up. Chorus. And then the more you know about chord voicings, instead of doing it exactly the way Tom Petty did it, you could use some different voicings to experiment. So A minor to G. Does that make sense? Let's see. Steven Chepovetsky says, got his first guitar and amp combo a year ago for $100. And he's watching the lesson for Smells Like Teen Spirit. Got him addicted. Now 4 guitars later, my girlfriend officially hates me. Collection has begun. Well, Steven, thank you for the super chat. But also, I have to tell you, there's this technique called the Trojan horse technique. And that is, it's a more advanced technique. But that's when you buy a new guitar, you be sure to put it in your a guitar you already own. Take a guitar you already own and use the old case to put your brand new guitar in that case, the Trojan horse. So that way, when you come in with your new guitar, you're holding your old case. Your wife's never going to think about it. She just thinks you had your guitar that you already owned with you. There you go. It's not a foolproof plan, though. But yes, that is one plan. Um, and also, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate it. Shut the hell up about Green Day. I guess a lot of people are talking about Green Day, but that's another example. Like Green Day uses a ton of a Beatles songwriting technique. So that's how your influence becomes you. And I'll show you what that is. That's like if you took this really Beatles, I think really made this into mainstream music, this theoretical technique. So if I took like, what is that, Good Riddance song, because it's real easy, G major, C major, and D major. So in music, those three chords together is called the 1, the 4, and the 5, which would be in the key of G, would be G major, it's the 1 chord. C major is the 4 chord, and you can actually count it up. Here, I'll go here. I'm in the key of G, right? And I said the 4 chord is C. G, A, B, C. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's literally that simple. And then the 5 chords, 1 up from C, D. There you go. So you have the 1 chord is major, G major. 4 chord, major, C major. And then the 5 chord, D major. Very common. Another common thing would be to get maybe an E minor in there. But the Beatles move that they made famous, that Green Day uses in multiple songs, is taking that 4 chord that's usually major and making it minor. Or it's major, then it's minor, then to the 1 chord, which would sound like this. And so you hear that in like In My Life by the Beatles, Yesterday. You got to watch the Beatles anthology. I don't think it's on Blu-ray. I don't know where you would watch it. I have the old DVDs of it, but it's absolutely amazing. And I think it's even Paul McCartney talks about discovering that little change and how much they liked it and they started using it. So if I just made a random progression. Okay, another super chat real quick. Samuel Morehouse, thank you so much, by the way. Samuel Morehouse is saying that he bought some of my pedals, and my pedals come with 2 different Marty music stickers. So Samuel, thank you so much for buying either my Looper or my Schwarzenegger or even both. I really appreciate that. And Samuel Morehouse put the stickers on his car. You may be the only one that's done that, or at least you're certainly the first that I've heard to do that. And oh no, he says, can I put the stickers that come with your pedals on my car, or are they only for interior use? Loves my videos. Wow, I mean, if it was on your car, I think that'd be the coolest thing ever. I don't know I think they're fine to be on your car. I think they're standard stickers. So that's what we got. But anyway, I really appreciate that. Remember the Trojan horse technique. Josh Norco. So, and then Cerberus 5159 just super chatted to do it. He donated 99 cents, and it's very kind of you. Shout out. So now another super chat here, Josh Norco. I've never met you, Josh. I've never met you, but you are definitely one of the best, most consistent supporters I have. There's actually a bunch of your names that I recognize, and I'd love to meet you someday. But Josh Norco is one of those names that I see all the time, very loyal and consistent. So I appreciate that. I know I'm leaving others out right now, but Josh is getting a little shout out. So, dude, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. Um, and now I'm just looking at comments are going by fast. Uh, Red Ender Gaming wants Beach Boy songs. That's a good idea. They're more complicated than you'd think. Uh, Clash of Clans with B says my Schwarzenegger pedal is awesome. Thank you. SRCM says Sound of Silence. Have I done that one? I feel like I have. If I haven't, it's on my list to do. Wow. Okay, they're going by really fast, you guys. Let me try a few shout outs. I'll try. Rob Qatar, Christopher Simmons. Cerberus, 5159. He says he's Jacob, Dave Rafalovich's friend. Oh, well, dude. So Cerberus, 5159, is saying that he is friends with one of my great dear friends that I grew up with, Dave Rafalovich, who has sat in on live streams as an audience member only when he's in town. Well, that's so cool because I love Dave as much as anybody. He's a true brother. So if you're friends with Dave, you are my good friend. So thank you for your comments. Redstone Jones, tips for full bar chords, F major, B minor. I said this before, and then I'm going to leave you guys with a jam. Bar chords, one, elbow towards your rib cage is going to make your fingers parallel with the frets as opposed to slanted back like that, which I've seen in a lot of lessons that I taught with private students. Your hand kind of naturally wants to do that at first. You want to go like that. When you're working through the bar chord, you want to play a song that has just like one bar chord in it and play through it even if it sounds like crap. Force yourself through that moment to just play it like crap, and that'll be like, a quick way to eventually make it sound a little less crappy, a little less crappy, a little less crappy. Oh, I'm kind of hearing it. Oh, I'm kind of hearing it. Now it's perfect. But when you're doing it like a B minor, form the chord all the way at once. Strum it, hear if it sounds right. If not, try and make the corrections. Then, next time, do it with the bar first, and then look at your hand and make the shape. So bar first, or the finger bar, whatever. Okay, cool. Next time, do it where you do the shape first, then the bar. These are all little brain tricks for quicker muscle memory. And then also keeping the shape, taking your hand off, keeping the shape, and then putting it back on. So those are my bar chord tips, and thank you so much for the chuper chat, for your chuper chat. Thanks for your chuper chat. By the way, you guys, I saw David Spade in concert last night, like a stand-up concert, and that was really fun. So just random shout out for David Spade, just because it was a fun show and he was really funny. Also, I don't think my wife is watching right now, but I'm wishing her a wonderful day. Shout out to the wife. But she broke, last Monday, she broke her wrist and her foot changing a light bulb and slipping off a chair. Very random. But me and my kids were all hoping that she has a quick recovery. I can hear noise in the other part of my house. I don't know if she's watching, but we're wishing you a fast recovery, honey. She was able to make it out, though, to the David Spade show. Chandler Shacklets wants a shout out right before all the comments got super fast. Okay, like people were saying Freebird and all that stuff. So I'm going to end now. But every Saturday at 1 o'clock Pacific time is a live stream, unless otherwise noted that I had the flu a few weeks back. No one really knows because I kind of worked through it. But also Usually the only time I don't do a live stream is if I am traveling and I just don't have a choice. So I think I'm working in Nashville in the middle of March. So basically we've got a few live streams to go for sure before I might, be off for a week or so. And next Saturday is Carry Too Smooth. Follow him on Instagram and YouTube, Carry Too Smooth. He's got a thing called Carrie's Camp. He's just a fantastic R&B guitar player, so he's gonna go over some cool R&B guitar techniques. So look for that next week. I obviously appreciate you supporting Marty Music, which isn't even 4 years old yet. So Marty Music's about 3.5 years old. I have put 100% of my time and energy only into Marty Music for the last, 4.5 years probably, because I was working on it before it launched. So I couldn't have wished for a better result of starting my own thing. So thank you so much for that. And also, any of you guys that have bought any of my courses at martymusic.com or have bought my Marty Music Looper or my Schwarzenegger overdrive pedal, which I used today in today's videos, thank you so much. You helped pay for my wife's medical bills, for her injuries that she just got, as well as feeding my family. So thank you, and hopefully you're having fun with guitar. I did have oh yeah, now I remember. Okay. We'll see you guys soon, though. I'm going to end with a little jam. Just much appreciation. And I'm just want to say thank you again. All right, let's see what we got. This one's for Ed King. Thanks again, you guys. Love you. Thank you for the support. We'll talk to you soon. Next Saturday at 1 o'clock. More lessons coming your way. See ya. See ya. See ya. Thanks again. Adios. Bye-bye. You have to leave now.